prepare the end of the splice that's going to be added to the running roll. So you take the material off the new roll, putting an old roll on here, place it into this cutting device, cuts a clean end off the material, separate the two ends. I'm going to use this device here to remove the spline of material that's on the back, the actual zipper material itself, so that we have a consistent thickness of material to put into the splice head. Simply press down, pull back, and the material gets removed off of the end. Do that on both sides. Press into the stop, press down, pull out, and the spline has been removed off of the end. Okay. Take that, two ends of the material, orient it correctly, place it into the splice head, slide the lever across. You want the top of the leading edge of the material to be past the two overlapping lines. That's where the heat bar will make contact with the splice. When the running web expires, we'll take the tail from the running web, we'll place it in here in the same manner, close the door, form the heat splice. So we've taken the splice that we prepared from the new roll, we've skived off the ends of the splines so we can have a more consistent splice joint. This is the tail that would have come out from the optical sensor of the expiring roll. We've trimmed it off so we'll have a nice clean end. We'll go ahead and place this into the splice head in the correct orientation so that the splines line up correctly. Latch it into the splice head in the same manner, placing the spline in the groove, sliding it across. Close the door, magnetic latch will hold it closed. The magnetic latch becomes energized once we turn on the heat with over 100 pounds of force required to open it once the heat cycle is on. We'll initiate the heat cycle. You'll get a message here noting that the heat cycle is on. The head is interlocked so you can't open it. When the heat cycle is complete, we'll alert the operator to go ahead and open the door. We'll open the door, remove the two clasps, and you have the splice joints on both sides. Simply zip the material back together into its original state. And we can go ahead and load it back into the system, looping it through the various guide pieces that we have here, including the optical sensor, the upper guide loop. Remove the slack from the process. You would then hit the run button and the system will proceed. Okay, so one of the new features in the 2022 model SP1 zipper splicer from Butler Automatic is the splice has been modified. We have a new Allen Bradley magnetic switch that we're using here. So it has a light tension magnet holding the head closed during normal time, and when the splice cycle comes on, it actually engages the electromagnet, which requires over 100 pounds of force to open the door to interlock it while the heat cycle is taking place. In addition, we've added an updated splice prep station. It includes a cutting device for trimming off the end of the zipper material to a nice square edge. And then we have a spline removal tool where you slide the zipper in, you press down on this button in the back, you pull the zipper back out, and it removes the spline of material, leaving only the backing portion, so you have an even thickness of material when you go to make the splice in the splice head. Down below, we've changed the web path. We've included a larger feed eyelet to be able to begin the guiding process for the web as it moves traverse back and forth across the spool. It will guide it into this center section. From there, we move to a deep V-flanged pulley that orients the web so it can go up in a more clean path up through the optical sensor that detects the end of the roll. Moving around to the back of the splicer, the previous model zipper splicer, the entire back section here used to be a sheet metal structure. We now have a full welded stainless steel tubular frame inside supporting this entire structure. We've also taken the footprint of the accumulator. In doing so, we've taken what had previously been just over 100 feet of accumulated storage within the splicer, and in the same footprint we have over 200 feet of storage, which now gives the operator twice as much time to prepare their splice. In addition, we've modified the pulleys themselves. They have a deeper flange, which allows the web to ride in here without less likelihood of coming out of the track and jumping from one pulley to the next. And then we've also added a deep V-flange pulley here on the exit idler. which allows the process to be pulling the web in any particular direction it might need to, slightly off course, but it'll keep it within that degree there. And then finally, we have a dual system of interlocked accumulator doors here. This door is removed. When the system is running, these have interlocks on them, so you cannot remove them unless the dancer is down in a safe position. We bypassed it with a key here because we're working through the process of finalizing the inspection. So one of the other new features on the 2022 model of the SP1 zipper is this dancer brake assembly. And what this does is, due to the weight of the dancer, we want to make sure that if the web were to break or the dancer were to fall, that does so in a slow and controlled manner. So this dancer brake assembly is connected to the dancer shaft. We have a proximity sensor that can detect whether or not it's in free fall. If it is in free fall, the dancer brake will engage automatically, and the air pressure on the brake, presenting the friction to the dancer, allows it to fall in a slow and controlled manner.